total internal. I'll share the screens in. Okay, like total internal reflection. Okay, so far 我们讲了refraction of light, reflection, and also lenses, and today we'll look at this phenomenon. We call it the total internal reflection. Okay, now doesn't matter if you already learned it in school or you haven't learned it in school. Okay, I will try to explain as simple as possible so that you can fully understand this concept. Okay, now let's look at the first one. Okay, so far 我们学了如果 light enters from one medium to another medium 它会 bend So let's take this one, the first medium as a denser medium. Okay, medium number 1, and second medium here is less dense. Okay, so another word for less dense is we call it the rarer medium. Okay, so first medium, second medium over here. Now, as light comes from the denser medium, okay, let's say here. Now, incident ray strikes the boundary and reflected out, right? Like this, like this. So this one, the first one, let's label it as the first one. Okay, first ray number 1, and this is also ray number 1. So incident angle, again, this is the incident angle, and this is the angle of refraction, angle of refraction. Then we label it as the I1. Okay, I1, incident angle of the ray number 1. Now, 如果我 increase 这个 ray 的 incident angle, okay, so this is I1 这是 I1 如果我增加它的 incident angle so ray number 2 so let's say ray number 2 coming at a greater incident angle like this. Okay, greater incident angle. So it will bend away more, right? It will bend away more. So this one we label it as maybe I2. Okay, I2. And this is ray number 2. This is ray number 2 and I2. Okay, now if I keep on increasing, what will happen? Until if I keep on increasing until one point, you will see that the ray will lie flat on the boundary like this. Okay, it's like it is on the surface, it's on the boundary. Okay, now this one you will see that the angle of refraction made by this ray is 90 degree, right? It's 90 degree after being refracted. Okay, how about the angle of incident? Is over here, right? This angle over here, and we label it as the I sun. Okay, now this is ray number 3. This is ray number 3. Okay, now at this point, when the angle of refraction is 90 degree, the light ray comes out flat with the boundary. Okay, this is, we call it the critical angle. I sun, we call it the critical angle. Okay, so in other words, critical angle 就是当如果那个 incoming ray 是 at this angle exactly at this angle I sun 它的 light ray it won't come out the other side. It will go flat on the surface. Now this, remember this one, it only happens for denser medium to less dense medium. 它只会发生在如果那个 light 从 denser 去 less dense 罢了。如果 light 是从 less dense 去 denser 它是不会发生的。OK 因为只有从 denser 去 less dense, light 是 bend away from the normal Now, what happens is if I keep on increasing this, okay, so after ray number 3, right, 我在increase 那个 incident angle so I increase the incident angle until this one, ray number 4. Ray number 4. Okay, let's call it ray number 4. Now, what will happen is that 如果那个 incoming ray 是 greater than I3, what happens is that it will be reflected back. Okay, so this is 4 and this is also 4. So if the incident angle is greater than the critical angle, the light ray will be reflected like a mirror. Okay, 很像镜子这样mirror reflected So 这种 any ray that is coming in this region, it will come back down in the same medium. Okay, same medium 这里下面是同样 ，let's say water 啦。Okay, water and above 上面是 air，全部 incoming ray from the water 它们出不到。如果它的 angle 是大过 I3 ，OK， 它们会反弹回来。And this phenomenon we call it the total internal reflection. Okay, you see the word reflection because it's like a mirror. Okay, so number 4, ray number 4, we say that it is already total internal reflection. Now we are going to study this phenomenon. There's more to it. There's more to it. This is just the principle, the basic understanding of it. Okay, now, so far we know that I3 是 critical angle 对吗 ？Okay, I3 是 critical angle 啦。Now critical angle, so 我们其实可以为什么我们叫它 critical angle 呢 ？OK， 因为这个 angle 是很重要because any ray that is below this angle okay, any ray that is below or smaller than this angle they will exit at another medium, right? Just like ray 1 and ray 2. Any ray that is above this angle, like ray number 4, or maybe I can add one more ray number 5, okay, they will all fall back in the same medium. Okay, that's why it is very important. It's kind of like a reference point. It's kind of like a reference point. So any ray that is smaller go out the other side. They will undergo refraction. Okay, so ray number 2 and number 1, they will undergo this process of refraction, the bending of light. So ray number 4, instead of undergoing the refraction, they will undergo the reflection. Two different process. Okay, two different process. So this angle is so important. That's why we call it the critical. Okay, the critical angle. Okay, now, so critical angle, same thing we can calculate. We can calculate this critical angle. Different medium is going to have different critical angle. Okay, now we know that so far we know that light comes from a denser medium at an angle. So we call this the incident angle. And if it forms a 90-degree after being refracted, this 90-degree, then this I, we call it the IC, the critical angle. Now, how to calculate this critical angle? We have already learned about n 等于 sine I over sine R, 对吗？ sine I to sine R. Okay, again, 这个 formula 给你算 refractive index of any medium with respect to air. Okay, 只有那个 light ray coming from air into the medium, then you use this formula. Okay, now let's look at the diagram at the bottom. 这里这左下角这里。Okay, let's say 这个是 water， 然后这个是 air. Okay, so light comes from water, right? And then exit. Remember, because it has to go from denser to less dense. 所以去 water 去 air, water 去 air. Now, applying the formula n 等于 sine I over sine R, let's calculate the critical angle of water. Okay, of water. So this is 90-degree. Okay, so 如果你还记得那个 principle of reversibility 我可以把这个 arrow reverse. Okay, instead of going out from water, I said it coming from the air and enters the water. I reverse the arrow just for the sake of the calculation. 因为我要算这个嘛，我一定要 make sure incident angle 是从 A 进另外一个 medium. OK， 所以我 apply reversibility. 所以这里 n 我已经知道那个 refractive index of water 是 fixed 了的 1.33. OK， 1.33， 或者你要做 water 或者你要做 glass 都可以。OK， 1.33 等于 now sin I 一定是 90了咯，因为 incident ray 是90嘛。OK， switch 了sin I 90 over sin R. OK， so sin 90你会发现到它是等于1。OK， 它是等于1 So R 你可以算 R whatever the angle. Okay, so 1 divided by 1.33 and then sine this one 差不多49啦 48.7 给我们放了48.8 angle. Okay, so here using this simple formula you can calculate the critical angle. So the critical angle of water is 48.8. Okay, IC 是48 8 degree. Okay, now, so again, you got the critical angle. So meaning that any incoming ray, the incident angle is less than 48.8, it will go up to the next medium, the air, it will go up here. Any angle that's bigger than 48.8, they will be reflected back into the water, into the same medium here. Okay, so critical angle. Now, one thing I want to talk about the critical angle is that, OK， 看回这个第一个 diagram 啊，看回第一个 diagram。Ray number one，OK， 我们把 I3呢当做是48.8 ，OK， I3 我们的 critical angle for water，so I3 等于48.8。我不用重新画那个 diagram。OK，I3 is 48.8。So ray number one and number two. Okay, now we are going to try starting from number one, ray number one. So 我一 increase 它的 incident angle， 它的 light 会从另外一 side 出来嘛，对不对？这里 one two, okay, it will keep going like this. Okay, let me draw an arrow so that you can see it. If I draw an arrow 当我 increase from ray number one to two 然后 all the way to number three 它会这样子走。OK， 我指那个箭头它会慢慢 approach 那个horizontal axis， 它会慢慢 approach horizontal axis。当它等于3的时候 ，OK， 我的 incoming ray 我的 incident ray 等于 I3 的时候，它就是在3哦，这边那I3 是48.8嘛，对不对 ？OK， 48.8。那如果我再继续 increase 1度，我 increase 它去49，what will happen？OK， 如果我再 increase 只是1度吧，或者0.1总是大过那个 critical angle 了。我的 refracted ray 它不会这样子 increase 1度罢了咯，它会直接跳它会直接跳去第4这边。OK， 为什么？因为当它一大过 critical angle 的时候，它就是 refraction 嘛，对不对？它就是 refraction 嘛，所以不管你的这个 angle between 这个 ray number 4如果你看 ray number 4 this one number 4，so I label this angle 如果这个 ray number 4是大过 critical angle 1度吧，49.8，let's say，OK， 49.8大过1度吧，它这里会 automatically 这里的 angle 它会变也是49.8。OK， 意思说它会直接跳，它不会增加1度在这边。OK， 它会直接跳去 number 4。So ray number 3 it would straight away you jump to ray number 4. Okay, so I already draw the arrow for you here. Okay, so this shows the movement of the ray as you increase it. Alright， 为什么会这样子？因为 refraction， 你的 law of reflection 一定是 incident angle 一定是要等于 reflection 的嘛 ，reflected angle 呢。Okay, so number 4 here. So if you keep increasing, okay, if I keep increasing, so the last ray I draw here, this is the last ray. Okay, let's call it ray number 5. Ray number 5. Ray number 5 pink. Okay, this pink color ray. Now again, this also total internal reflection, 对不对？它会 reflected 回来 and then this is ray number 5. This is ray number 5 between 3 and 4. Okay, so 你会发现到是它会怎样走？接下来一大过 critical angle 后，它跳去第4然后它会慢慢走回来这个第3这边。OK， 它会慢慢走回来这个 approaching 那个 horizontal distance， 然后 number 5， 如果你再加那个 ray 进去 number 6、number 7， 它会慢慢靠近那个 horizontal distance。So this shows how it will change. Okay, how it will change if you increase the degree. Okay, so from here, approach here, and then it will jump from here, and then it will come back to the horizontal axis. Okay, now, okay, so far you know that there is 2 conditions. 这个很重要 conditions for total internal reflection 第一个就是它一定要是 from denser medium to less dense medium. The first one. If less dense to denser, it will not happen. Okay, it will not happen. Now, second thing is that the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, for only will the total internal reflection will happen. Okay, so 如果你看它的那个total internal reflection what does that mean actually? Total internal reflection. Internal reflection 是它的意思就是就讲一个 mirror reflection， 可是它没有镜子。OK， 之前我们有学到那种concave and convex mirror 啊，那种是镜子嘛 ？OK， reflection on a mirror。So internal reflection 是它没有镜子的，可是它还是有 reflection。That's why we call it internal. Okay, that's why we call it internal reflection. Now, what does it mean by total? Okay, so internal reflection means no mirror. Okay, this one is reflection without mirror. How about the total? Total 的意思呢，它就是讲有一个很 special 的 case for total internal reflection， 就是这个 reflection 是 OK， 我们讲到镜子先镜子的 reflection 如果你有一个 let's say you have a curved mirror here. Okay, curved mirror. 然后你的 light ray strikes the mirror here. What will happen is that there is an absorption. Okay, if you remember from what I said earlier in the first lesson, this RAT, reflection, absorption, and transmission. So some part of the light, some portion of the light will be absorbed. So what happened is that the intensity of the light will decrease because some energy will be absorbed right by the mirror. Okay, so it will be absorbed by the mirror. So the intensity will decrease. So 在普通的 reflections 那个 intensity 会减少，普通的 reflection OK of mirror。那在 total internal reflection 是它的 intensity 是不会减少的，这个就是它的 special thing about it. Okay, so remember total it will be no absorption. Okay, if I write this down, I write this down for you. This is no absorption. No absorption of the light, no absorption of the energy. So I can say that the total energy is reflected back. Total energy is reflected back. So the intensity remains. Okay, intensity remains. So what does that mean? 代表什么意思 ？So 如果它完全它的 energy 都 reflected 的是没有 absorb 是，意思说你看到的那个 image 你看到的图片是跟真正的 object 是差不多一样的。有时候你会很难分辨出 ，OK 这个是 image 还是这个是 object， 因为普通的 reflection 是 intensity 会减少嘛，对不对？如果你看你的 image 在那个 mirror OK, you won't realize it, but in the reality, right, the image is a little bit darker, okay, less in intensity. So 如果 total internal reflection 是你的 image 会看到很像跟 object 一样真 ，OK， 因为那个 intensity 是一模一样的 ，OK, there's no loss of energy. Okay, so this is what makes the total internal reflection so much interesting, and you can see it everywhere in your daily life. Later we'll go into that. Okay, later I'll talk about where do you see total internal reflection in your daily lives. Okay, so you will see a very true picture, not like the image by a mirror. Okay, so that is about the total internal reflection. Now, next thing. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is the application. Where do you see the total internal reflection? Okay, 给我打开我的 whiteboard pen. Okay, so the first thing is that the total internal reflection. Okay, I just short form it as T.I.R. application. Okay, the first one is very popular one. You will hear every time. Okay, first one is mirage. Okay, now we are not going to really go deep on the mirage. Okay, later you can Google it. Okay, I just roughly tell you what is mirage later, because I want to go into the more the prisms. Okay, more practical stuff. Okay, mirage is again a phenomenon of T.I.R. 什么是 mirage 啊 ？mirage 就是如果你在一个沙滩上是，好像比如说你在一片大地啦，沙滩上很very hot weather. Okay, sometimes you will see very far Okay, you see very far, you will see there's a pool of water on the ground. You see there's a pool of water on the ground, but when you go there, right, the pool of water disappeared. OK，就很像有一个水，一个水在那边是在地上的，可是你走过去那边是没有的，这个就是 mirage。OK，what causes this to happen? OK, you can Google it later. Okay, you can Google it later. Now, let's say this is the ground. This is the ground. You're standing here. Okay, let's say you're standing here. Okay, so what you'll see is that it's kind of like it appears as a pool of water over here. So you see this pool of water, right? And when you walk there, right, it disappeared. So what happened is that this is the T.I.R, the total internal reflection. So let me explain how does it work. Now, in a very hot day, 在白天, very hot day, especially in the desert. So there's these two layers of ground. If I draw one line here, this is the boundary, where this is a very hot region and on top is very cold. Okay, so let's say I draw some clouds here, stuff like this. Okay, so the upper region is very cold air, and the region that is very near to the ground is being heated up by the ground, so it's hot. Okay, so it's hot, warm, okay, we say it warm. Okay, so actually in actual case, in reality, right, there's many layers of this one. There's many layers. So the layer closest to the ground, right, is very hot. Okay, warm is warmer. The layer that is closest to the ground is warmer than the layer that is above it. Okay, so you have many layers, many different temperatures. So what happened is that as the light comes from the cloud, from the sun, okay, it enters our atmosphere, right? It enters our atmosphere. Now, because of the different layers of the temperature of the air, different layers, so light is going to be refracted. Tell you refraction will happen. Okay, so from less dense to denser, because the density is different. Okay, so less dense to denser, it will bend. It will bend. Okay, no, sorry, from denser to less dense. Okay, cold air is kind of denser. Here is denser. Cold air denser. On above, the air above is denser because it's cold, right? The air below is less dense because it's hot. It's warmer, all right? It's warmer. So as a result, this one will bend like this. Okay, so every time it reaches the next layer, it will keep bending like this. Bending, and then bending again. Okay, so all the layers at last it will create a U-shaped bend like this. So meaning that the light comes from the sun, 它会很像 turn in a U shape and reaches your eye. Okay, it turns in a U shape and reaches your eye. So as it enters your eye, this one, the ray that is the last ray that enters your eye, what happens? Your eye pick up this light ray, and then where do you see? You see, because our eyes, 我们看不到那种 light ray bending 的，我们看不到的。OK， 所有的 light ray enters 我们的眼睛时，我们只是会看到好像一条直线罢了。That's why 如果我 extend 这个直线去后面是，你会看到有东西在这边。Okay, if I extend this line, because our eyes cannot see bending, all right? So we will see that there's something in front of us, like here. So what is this? This is the sky, the clouds, the water vapors, all above. Okay, so you will see something here, the clouds here. That is why when you move that, it's actually not there, right? It's actually not there. So this phenomenon is, we call it the mirage. Okay, mirage. So it's kind of like, it's very, very scary one. Sometimes you see, there's actually a case in last time. Okay, let me show you this one. Okay, I'll show you the mirage of a city. There's actually a real case one. A real case. I think back in, I don't know when now. Okay, is that people see the reflection and the image of the whole city, like this one. Okay, now you see the picture, this one. this is also caused by mirage. Okay, you see on the top right, the city, this one. Yeah, this one. So you have a very huge sea, the horizon. If you look at the horizon, right, you see that all the image, there's an image of the city. There's this image of the city. This is also caused by mirage. But this is 这个是 terbalik 的啦。OK， 刚刚我 show 你那个是这样子。OK， 这个是从上面那个 light 从上面来 curve down 嘛，对不对？有时候你会这样子的，有时候会有这样子的东西。OK， 这个是你 ，this is the ground. Okay, this is the, let's say you have a ship. Okay, light ray 也有可能是这样子跑，这样子上来，然后它会 curve 下来 ，form 一个 U shape。OK， 也是同样的 principle 啊，也是同样的 principle， 它 curve 下来 form 一个 U shape， 所以你看到很像，我画清楚一点，这样子，所以你看到很像我 extend 这个 line， 你看到很像有一个船那边。OK， 所以这个是 terbalik 的啦 ，terbalik 的 mirage， 跟刚才我讲那个 terbalik。所以这个是刚刚我 show 你那个照片 ，OK，that's why you will see the city if you have like buildings here or ships or anything you will see is like floating. You will see it's like floating. Okay, so back to the picture just now. This one, all floating. They call it the floating cities. Okay, floating cities. You can check this out lah. Okay, same thing as this one. Yeah, this one also. It looks very scary one, okay, because the image is very real. Okay, it's very, why it's very real again? 为什么它会很真？因为 total internal reflection 是它的 reflection 是没有 energy loss 嘛。Alright, so the picture is almost as real as the object. Okay, now there's another phenomenon called the looming. Okay, looming, same as, almost similar with the mirage. Okay, looming. Okay, we say looming of ship, and this one happened at the horizon. Okay, so you see looming, right? Looming is like this one. Okay, this one, a floating. Okay, I think I have a better image. Ship floating here. Yeah, you can do this thing. Yeah, this is, I think this is a real picture. You have a lot lah. You have a lot lah. This one, yeah, this one is also real. They have a video. They have a video of this one. Yeah, this one. What happened is this. Okay, you see this picture. It looks very real. Okay, this is also the same as the mirage concept, but we call it the looming lah. Okay, looming is almost the same. It's because of the bending. 所以你看到很像那个船在飞起来这样子。OK， 其实它是 image 来的。其实它是 image， 那个船是在那个 horizon somewhere here 啦。Okay, so what you see here is the image, but it looks very real. It looks very shocking actually. Okay, it looks very shocking. Okay, so this is because of the total internal reflection. Okay, it's because of the total internal reflection. Okay, because of this one also same. Okay, now 回去刚刚我的那个this one so total reflection happens where? Okay, we talk about the layers, right? All the layers so all the refraction at some point sorry this one I draw a better one. 刚刚那个看起来很乱。Okay, 刚刚我讲那个 U from the 那个 light from the sun it comes down and forms a U shape, right? Like this like this. So somewhere here, somewhere in this journey is when the angle of incident becomes greater than the critical angle. Okay, so if I draw the normal, this is the normal. This is the normal. This is the normal. This is the normal. 那个红线是代表two different density of the air. So 比较靠近地上的就是比较 warm 比较 less dense 的。So 这里是它 keep bending 那个 light ray keep bending, right? At one point it will become greater than the critical angle. Critical angle. Okay, again, what happens? 如果那个 light ray 大过 critical angle, then it will total internal reflection, right? So this happens somewhere here. Somewhere here. Okay, so kind of like this part of the diagram is where the total internal reflection happens, because it's kind of like reflected backwards. Okay, not this part. This is refraction. Okay, at the first part of the process here is the refraction happens here, and when it curves upward, it starts to curve upward now. That is when the total internal reflection happens over here. Okay, now that is for the looming and mirage. Okay, looming and mirage. Now, what I want to talk about is the prism. Okay, so this one, total internal reflection of a prism. Okay, let me just bring this up. Yeah. Okay, now let's look at this prism. OK，我们剩下1分钟，我再 create 那个 link，你们再进来，然后我再继续啦。等下我画那个会不见了我的 note。